Chapter 13. In the Century's Twilight. The annual conference sessions which followed the General Conference of 1792 began almost immediately, the first being scheduled for November 15th at Alexandria, Virginia. This was the period of experimentation with the yearly conference, the evolutionary stage in which that body struggled to reach the type of fullness and permanency. 20 sittings were indicated in the list for the year, but it is certain that a greater number were held, while at least 2 in the list appear to have been omitted. The extent to which the episcopal visitations were multiplied and extended is suggested by such new and remote points for meetings as Savannah, Johns River, Jonesboro, and Nashville. The conference in North Carolina was again held at the home of the Reverend Greenhill, and the preachers reported a total of more than 900 conversions for the year in that territory. In South Carolina, Asbury lodged at Rembert Hall, the home of Colonel James Rembert, a rich planter, and the gaius of early Methodism in South Carolina. On many succeeding journeys, this hospital roof sheltered the tired bishop, and the ministries beneath it cheered and refreshed him for his toils. Indeed, it was the experiences which fell to him in homes like those of James Rembert, Harry Dorsey Gow, Judge White, Governor Van Cortlandt, General Russell, Greenhill, and the Delams, and the Warfields, that proved the early compensation for his homeless, wandering life. It was about this time that he imparted this confidence to his journal. None need desire to be an American bishop on our plan, for the case, honor, or interest that attends the office, and yet when he compared his lot with others, he counted himself amongst the most blessed of men, and declared in borrowed, though none the less triumphant words, "Things eternal I pursue, the things by nature felt and seen, their honors, wealth, and pleasures mean, I never have nor want." Although the General Conference had left him in a stronger official position than before, troubles continued to multiply. The O'Keefe schism was taking definite shape. Systematic efforts were being made by the succeeders to lead away large bodies of Methodists, and at one stage of the controversy, the scheme was nearly successful. Tidings of these movements followed the bishop on his distant journeys and caused him much concern, but he proved to be powerful in all parts of Methodism, whether present or absent. A constant correspondence issued from under his hand as he rode and preached and sat in conference, with arguments, with tearful entreaties, with persuasiveness of love. He won the people back in numbers, and thus reduced the schism to the thin edge. Yet for all this, the losses of Methodism from this cause were constant for several years, and it was not until 1802 that the discrepancy in membership was fully covered. This was Asbury's deep affliction, and saint though he was, he had strong words for those who troubled Israel. Sometimes these strong words went beyond even what he himself allowed in soberer moments. What he himself in soberer moments could adjudge allowable. Now, Israel as the upright of God, something that changes every generation, that's a lot more important than blood and soil definitions, and that fits in more with the actual biblical Zionism for what it is, which is, it, Zion doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to even include Jerusalem, let alone the rest of the land. I have said more than was for the glory of God concerning those who have left the American connection, he penitentially wrote in his journal, and who have reviled Mr. Wesley, Mr. Fletcher, Dr. Coke, and poor me. Oh, that I could trust the Lord more than I do, and leave his cause wholly in his own hands. At Savannah, he saw the ruins of Whitefield's orphanage, which had been destroyed by fire. The charred and gaping walls were still standing. While yet a young preacher in England, he had seen a copperplate counterfeit of the building, framed through two worlds, and the melancholy spectacle upon which he now looked affected him deeply. Within a few years, he was to witness a similar picture at Cokesbury, and